Is it possible to work on a project without a name? My TTRPG Artbook had no name for almost 6 months, and I'm going to take you on a journey on how I came around to naming my project and why it is so important to do so. Naming things are hard. Throughout my entire time working on this project, naming anything was my biggest hurdle. I would more often than not overthink the names of all the things. I wanted them to be cool, but most of the time, funny names work just as well, or even better. I had a placeholder name for this project for so many months while working on this, and I never wanted to use it too often as I was afraid that it would become canon. When people would come over to my streams and be interested in the art that I was working on, I would only refer to it as some TTRPG artbook or some artbook. After a while, it honestly felt like I needed to give it a name. This project can't just be some TTRPG artbook forever, right? Also, naming it might help solidifying the presence of this project that I'm working on and not have it sound like a project that might maybe be tossed into the work in progress abyss that all of us artists have. There is honestly no order or method to this madness of working on a project of this magnitude for so many months without putting a name to it, and I assure you that madness will make sense on its own. Just to make sure this project never goes into the abyss of work in progresses, I decided to come up with a few potential names one day. It really felt like I was naming my child and I should choose the name wisely. There was this weird weight of the world on my shoulder as this project means a lot to me, and I honestly just didn't want to end up with a name I either couldn't pronounce or just straight up disliked. I came up with a couple of names like Arborea, see, I can't even say that name anymore, Phelan, Atora, Iriliara, Florithia. I know some of it is a mouthful, but I thought they sounded pretty when I came up with them. And I would like to formally apologize to all my friends that I bothered about these names. I would honestly love to thank them for the help and the input of just the general vibes of what they get from the names that I've listed and created. Remember, it's okay to ask for help, and if they don't want to help, you probably need some new friends. We eventually narrowed it down to either Arborea or Atora, and I sat with the names for a bit just to make sure I didn't, 100% hate them. And I woke up one day and was like, yeah, let's go with Atora. I was honestly pretty happy with the name, and a lot of people in my community seemed to like it too. And then I googled the name only to find out that it was a furniture store. And it doesn't matter. I'm using it anyway, and I'm gonna mess up this furniture store's SEO or whatever it is and show up first on the Google search when this project pops off, Now that we have Atora, what is Atora exactly? As someone who has spent majority of her career working in game development and doing fan art illustration, Atora is my forever world. A world that is my sandbox and creative outlet to finally make all the things I've wanted to make. My current goal for Atora as an art book is to be a love letter to the TTRPG genre. It is a world inspired by Mouseguard, Root, and Bloomburrow, where fantasy animals come to life. The book is full of pre-made characters, NPCs, items, little snippets of lore, and all the fun things in between. I'm definitely in no way in the position to crunch numbers and create a whole new system and subclasses on my own at this point, but it might be something that I would want to work on in the future. What I do hope this book does is to inspire and aid the world building that DMs or enthusiasts might want to do for their own campaigns and worlds. Think of it like a supplement book rather than, the regular ass handbooks that we have from Dungeons and Dragons. I like talking about Atora. My whole life is just Atora this, Atora that, Atora how, Atora why, Atora who. I eat, sleep, and breathe Atora now. And it's not just some TTRPG project anymore. Naming a project or anything in general may not be our forte as artists, but it is a necessary evil that we must overcome. I feel like giving a project a name gives it more presence not just in my daily life, but also within my community when I talk about it. Name your shit before it ends up not being anything. I've got a bunch more to share with you guys about Atora, and if you'd like to explore Atora with me and see how the world grows, drop me a like and subscribe. See y'all next video! My TTT... While working on this... Oh wait. Wait, let's try that again. And throughout my entire working... why can't I read? Of this this magnitude, magnitude. I fuck man my pronunciation. Me and see how the world grows. Drop me a like and subscribe. Oh my god, why am I stuttering? For fuck's sake. Okay, let's try this again. What am I saying? What am I saying? Why am I going off script? What am I doing? What is